is the Grassroots Education and Entertainment Network, your #1 source of information, education, and entertainment. For honest, responsible, and dependable information, we stand supreme. To stay focused, inspired, and relaxed, choose green.
Aboro, Aboye, Abosheshe, and welcome to the Herbal or the Traditional Herbal Health Show with Coach Eon T. All right, I would open this evening by starting off with an Iba. All right. Yeah, you would help me. When I'm finished, one line you would say Ashe for me.
Sure.
All right. Open ifun olarun.
Ashe.
Oludumare Oba Jiki.
Ashe.
Moji Loni Mo Gumeriaye.
Ashe.
Iba Ile Orun.
Ashe.
Iba Iwo Olorun.
Ashe.
Iba Ariwa.
Ashe.
Iba Gusu.
Ashe.
Iba Oba Igbalie.
Ashe.
Iba Orun. Okay.
Ashe.
Iba Baba Iba Yeye.
Ashe.
Iba Atiwo Orun.
Ashe.
Iba She Igungun Kiki Igungun.
Ashe.
Iba She Ori Ori Inu Ipori Atiwo Orun.
Ashe.
Ofi Opa Otutu Tuka and La Shekana Arona.
Ashe.
Ashe. Ashe. Ashe. All right, and introducing our regular host for today's show, Coach Ionti Ifatoki.
Hello everyone, happy Sunday, and on this particular Sunday I would like to wish our audience a happy Father's Day. I hope that all the fathers within the community, the listeners, friends, whoever is connected to this program are being taken care of and appreciated.
Ashe.
So we are going to close up, the discussion that we've been having about cardiovascular health. So
Okay.
we have spoken about the heart as a muscle, the importance of having it balanced, how how it is impacted by our emotion, not just the way we eat. Okay, and today now we are going to speak about a few herbs that we use traditionally to balance out our cardiovascular health. So we know for a fact that because it is a seat of life force energy, it requires fire. Meaning that if your heart is cold, and pay attention to the word I'm using, your body is not going to function properly. So it means cold, for example, you would wonder, how does one's heart get cold? Let's say that you end up in a situation where you have a broken heart, or maybe you encounter a great disappointment. You probably lose your passion for your job. You just can't stand being in the neighborhood anymore. And so it's that you find no taste of just engaging into, maybe like your routine. Okay, it means that your heart has grown cold. You are turned off by whatever situation around you. And so whenever you're dealing with that type of emotion, it is also disturbing the physical function of the heart, because there's not enough fire produced within. So for your heart to function properly, for your body to function properly, it needs to function at a certain temperature. And so all the organs have to be maintained at the same temperature. So when we think about it, for example, if you have a stuffy nose, obviously your nose is not at the same temperature than your stomach, for example. Or if you have a broken toe, a broken limb, wherever the fracture has occurred on the body, the temperature of the body around that area is not balanced the same as the rest of the body. So today, keeping that in mind, we are going to pay attention to the little things we can use around us to bring balance keep in mind that if what you're doing is not bringing any improvement, the heart is something that we don't play with. So as we tend to say regularly every week, that's, the disclaimer. If you are, if your symptoms, are urgent, if you realize that you're having a heart attack, for example, please, you don't try remedies at that time. You need to call a doctor, head to the hospital, and remember that the conversations we are having online are especially for your education. So you have to use your common sense when it is time to take decision about your health. What you can do on the long term absolutely has nothing to do with what you would do in case of emergency. Okay. So let's talk about the plants that bring healing, and especially the plants that are associated with the fire element. And our elders identify those plants with plants that goes with the divinity that is called Ogun. So here on this show, apart from the fact that we also promote, the tradition in terms of speaking some Udus as before we start the show, we don't really go into the details of divinities, orishas, etc. There are many other shows for this where you could actually speak with elders who are qualified. I consider myself qualified when it comes to healing and not when it comes to spiritual teaching. But as I say, our elders, consider that the herbs associated with Ogun, were the one that were fiery, and that's the one that would bring balance to a cold heart in the body. So some of them that we're gonna speak about this afternoon are cayenne pepper. Definitely, I just had a plate of food with a lot of cayenne pepper because I was tired, for example. And so instead of drinking coffee to stimulate me at that time of the day, the alternative was cayenne pepper. Once your blood get a pickup and start moving, a lot faster, then you would get a pick me up without having to depend on caffeine, for example. We are going to speak about garlic and hawthorn berries. I hope I pronounced this properly.
Yeah, excellent so far. Yeah.
Okay, so we, when the heart is disconnected from the rest of the body, and that would happen, as I say, like whenever we encounter like heavy emotions that we have difficulty processing. Um, this is when we realize that the first thing is the body, is not moving properly. So I said cayenne and I wrote hawthorn first. And let me just bring my stuff. So the cayenne pepper is a fast-acting catalyst. So it brings a dynamic to the body. It awakens the body. So definitely recommend having that in the morning if you can. I always suggest that whatever supplement you use containing cayenne pepper should be either a soft gel or a capsule. And because it burns. So if you're drinking as a tea or as a tincture, there are some people selling tinctures containing cayenne pepper. This cannot be very easy to use directly under the tongue, but for that purpose, I really recommend to use capsules or to use soft gel. So it reawakens the body. It's excellent also for people who have digestive issue. It gives you the right pick me up, and it enables you to lessen the amount of caffeine that you need in the morning, to boost your body. So for people who live in cold areas, as you don't have to live in a cold country, sometimes you may live close to the river or close to the sea, so therefore, or you may live on top of a hill, so it might be a little colder in the morning. Then we suggest that you start your day by using some cayenne pepper supplement, and to give your body the right boost. So I have a lot of indication, but we're trying to keep things very short. Also, we would like to remind that it is excellent as anti-inflammatory and also decongestant. So therefore, if you're having issues with your sinus, a capsule of cayenne pepper is going to get your blood moving, and to the point where the sinus are going to decrease in swelling, and you'll be able to breathe better. It is great for fast absorption. So people who want to lose weight, it is great to use cayenne pepper. A great cardiac tonic. So people also who suffer from high blood pressure may want to use a little cayenne pepper as well to help to bring balance to your body. Remember that cayenne burns, so we would like to recommend you to take cautious in using it. So if you know that you have a rash or anywhere where your skin might be ruptured, you be careful when you are using the cayenne pepper so um, you do not create more damage. If you have varicose, if that's the way, like I think I'm pronouncing that.
Yeah, varicose.
Okay, varicose. Okay, so if you're experiencing those as well, you'll have to take caution. So remember that we do not really promote self-medicating. Cayenne pepper capsule, it's not necessarily like taking a bush and boiled tea. So if you are already having health situation, health complication, always speak to your health provider, whether it is an allopathic doctor or whether it is a holistic health practitioner, to find out what is the best concentration of cayenne pepper supplement that you can use. Garlic. Okay, so garlic, we think about it a lot for when we have high blood pressure, when probably we're having a lot of parasite. We think about it also probably for women. We have a lot of infestation in the womb. Okay, and the only thing is that it gives a lingering aroma. So whether you use it naturally or whether you use it as a supplement, usually once you take garlic, you have to balance it with something else so that every time you speak, we don't take the scent of the garlic. So anyhow, you will smell it too. If your body is no longer able to process the garlic, you will smell it out of your breath as well. But it will also affect your perspiration. Okay,
Okay.
so it's going to change the scent of the perspiration because it is purifying the bloodline and it's allow the body to process toxins. Now, remember that if your body is heavily congested, if your body is tired, using a lot of garlic alone is not enough because the toxins are going to move, but then maybe your body is not strong enough or doesn't have enough energy to process them out. So what I notice is that sometimes people overdose themselves in garlic and then they come back and show you that they have different rash in their body. Some people develop a condition that's called intertrigo,
Okay.
where wherever the skin folds, so that would be sometime under the neck, or maybe if you have a heavy belly and your stomach have folds in the center underneath. So wherever the skin is rubbing, and maybe if the body is also very acidic and you're eating a lot of garlic, um, that is a lot to process at the same time. So a right combination, for example, would be to balance out how much cayenne pepper you're using and how much garlic. Now, it's great to take them at the same time, and you will find supplements where containing both garlic and cayenne pepper together. So if you have irritated digestive tract, then this is not one that we recommend. Okay, people who have anger condition, so if you know that you always get upset, you cannot control your anger. People who say like, there are people who know that they have a hot head. They really can't process anything negative. We do not recommend the use of garlic neither. So the standard dosage for garlic is 1 clove 3 times a day maximum. Right. So I know that we have different ways of doing things traditionally. We would chop the garlic, we would have it soaking with honey or with apple cider vinegar, and then we would take a tablespoon. This is too much. Is 1 clove maximum 3 times per day. The rose as a flower is also great for the cardiovascular health. So we do not recommend that people um, use the flowers that you would find in the flower shop. Why? Because usually those are heavily processed with a lot of chemicals. So therefore, they will not be good to process, not even to make oil for your body, because you will be transferring all of those chemicals on your body. However, if you go to a health store, you can definitely purchase rose oil or rose tincture, and this is greatly recommended as an ointment for your heart center. Okay, so that
So
one is not to drink. This one is really like, to rub around your heart, around your chest, or
okay,
if
but yeah, for the sake of the viewers, if
sure.
you wanted one that you could actually use internally, should it be food grade? Is that what they normally say?
It should be food grade. It should definitely be food grade. For
And
example,
organic.
also. For example, I get my dry roses at Indian supermarkets. Food grade. So if I can find it here, I would believe that you would find it anywhere, wherever you meet an Indian supermarket that carries those kind of ingredients. You will find it available to eat. But do not use the flowers. It's like maybe you get a bouquet of roses and you just decide to dry the petals. No, that one there wouldn't work. Okay, so really get the food grade or buy the supplement ready made.
Okay.
Linden flowers. So usually we especially work with the linseed or linseed oil, or you get I'm saying linseed, we can say flaxseed as well. So this also is excellent. So whenever you can get the flowers, then you use the seed as well. I mean, I'm not promoting the Indian supermarket, but I mean, in the Indian supermarket, you find a lot of the stuff at a reasonable price, where it probably might be 3-4 times the cost in an organic supermarket, organic shop. You're going to find it at a very affordable price in the Indian supermarket. So you would find the listed oil bottle as well, which is great when people are having a thick blood, like we spoke about sweet blood and thick blood last week. So this is also great to boost the cardiovascular health. Rosemary. So rosemary should be like the ladies' favorite. So ladies who have issues with maybe a heavy heart, um, ladies who are having issue with blood circulation, high blood pressure, not just the ladies, but I'm saying the ladies. Why? Because it is also a great herb to drink to boost the growth of the hair. So
Okay.
if you know you're trying to grow your hair in the process, make sure you drink a lot of rosemary tea. And whenever the tea is not enough, remember that the tincture is like a boosted tea that could be sometimes 20 to 50 times more potent than a cup of tea in just taking a few drops under your tongue. So the rosemary is one of my favorite, definitely. You can create syrup with your herbs. So we have different, sometimes we use sugar, sometimes we use molasses. I also use sea moss because I don't really like it so sweet. Okay,
Okay.
so whatever works for you in terms of our tradition, now is the time to take them out, and put your herbs to the test. Okay, so tea is something that we recommend. Tinctures is something that we recommend. If you're having high blood pressure, you have to be careful with your tinctures. And we would recommend that the tinctures contain as little alcohol as possible. So it would mean that you would need one that is extracted either in vinegar or one that is extracted in glycerin. So it will not cause more complication with the hypertension. Also, I wanted to speak about, um, I love it when I have those moments and I'm just, yoga. Now you understand why I had to eat some food with some cayenne pepper just before we started. Fatigue sometimes
Okay.
is taking a hold of me. All right, so yoga is great for healing, and it is used a lot in Ayurveda as part of the healing process. Sometimes you probably cannot go to a therapist, or sometimes maybe your belief might make you feel hesitant about certain therapies that your therapist may want to practice on you to improve your health. And this is why you should always take the time to meet a therapist, discuss about things that make you feel uncomfortable prior to starting. So what we do sometimes is we hear from word of mouth that, okay, well, this person did this for me and it worked very well. So we run there as well. And then when you get there, you end up in a clash sometimes because you realize, I don't understand what you're doing. So therefore, I'm hesitant, etc., etc. I'll give an example. I know a lady who used to suffer from seizures, and she went to an American herbalist on the island, and he took out a big crystal ball and he had it on a chain and he started to roll the ball all around her. And all that time, like she was trying to call me, I wasn't able to take the phone call, and she was really panicked. And this lady is a Christian lady, so she was very panicked when she saw the crystal ball. And they try to calm her down and tell her, wait, just trust him, etc. I mean, between you and I also use crystal therapy. I think I would have been freaked out as well, even myself. But the truth is that whatever was the process of that exercise, then the seizure was gone. So what really makes sense is to really be able to have a conversation. You don't just book and get the therapy and find yourself completely shocked when you get there. Try to get 15 minutes of conversation ahead with your therapist to understand what they are going to do. Well, so that one, I felt like, I had to put that one on. Because many people don't like yoga. They feel like it is the worship of all kind of stuff and so on, but it's really a matter of stretching the body and stimulating the different energy points and different chakras of the body for better health. So there is what we call the chair pose. So where you pretend to sit on a chair while you lift your arms in the air. And so this helps you to stress your chest, and so you have to stretch as much as possible so that it will stimulate your heartbeat. Okay. So this is a great exercise for your heart. Not everybody is able to go to the gym and hit the cardio today for tomorrow, so you start where you can. And as you can say, it's like just having this kind of stretching exercise is nothing that you cannot do from your home
just a quick question for the viewers. Again, I'm just trying to ask things for the viewers. So to do yoga, you don't necessarily have to go to a class per se, but there are maybe a few exercises that you could learn that you could actually practice at home.
At home, yes.
Okay.
They like nowadays, with what we call Google and what we call YouTube, you can do this at home. All right. So of course, I'm speaking about the basic yoga figure, not standing on your head, twisting your neck and trying. No, we're talking about something very basic. If you want to learn to stretch and have your arm touching under your, all of those things, you go to a specialist, someone to train you and tell you whether your body is ready or not. Okay. But a stretch and a breathing exercise is something that you can easily do from your home.
Okay, another question just before you continue, right?
Yes.
So if you are saying calisthenics, then to many persons,
did you really use that word?
Yeah, calisthenics. If you use the word stretch or calisthenics, I think that would move people's mind away about the superstitious concepts of yoga.
Yeah, but then you see, like,
is associated exercise.
This one there is very difficult,
All right.
So it is true for people who are accustomed of exercising to that level. It does not scare them. But I'm seeing me the first time someone told me that they were practicing this as a sport. I didn't have a clue what it was about. And so therefore I made it my business, and I was like, I don't think I can do this. This is just too hard for me. Maybe I didn't find a beginner's video or I didn't find, a coach who could work with beginners. I was like, oh, this is difficult. But it is true that what we speak about here is alternative. So if you feel like something is making you feel uncomfortable, there's always an alternative available. So sometimes you just gotta reach out, ask a question. We always put it out there. Feel free to send a message to Baba or myself. Ask a question. Okay, it's free.
All
It's not
right.
a consultation. You could ask a question.
All right. Yeah, we're trying not to interrupt you again. We
Okay.
have like 5 more minutes.
Yes, there is a bridge pose as well. So for this one, you lie down with your knee bent and your feet touching the ground. Okay, so therefore, it's like you have your butt almost touching your heel, and you let your palm be by your side, facing downward. Then you lift your hip and the spine gently, and you hold a position for at least 10 breaths. I'm reading exactly because since I'm not a yoga practitioner, even when I try to do those exercises by myself, it's a very comic experience where but we're having fun, and at least the body, the muscles are moving. And at the end of the day, once you get a form of exercise into your routine, you always feel better, whether it is mentally or physically. So this
Okay.
one is a bridge pose. So what you could do is maybe like take down the note of those
Name
posts, and then you go on yoga on YouTube
YouTube.
or on Google to find out how to perform it. Um, Meditation is also highly recommended. So meditation means different thing for different people, once again according to their spiritual belief. But meditation usually is an exercise where you're clearing your mind. So whatever comes to your mind, learn to shift it. And how do you shift it? You connect with the sounds around you. If you keep your eyes closed, usually recommend that you keep your eyes closed, because if your eyes are open, anything might pass, and you're gonna get focused on whatever is happening around you. So as the thought come to your mind, especially that's very good for people who are very stressed out, people who have a lot of responsibility. Just close your eyes, you sit in a comfortable position, and you connect to all the sound around you. And you do it often enough and long enough until your body feel totally relaxed. So this is what we mean by meditation. Okay, so now there are several forms of meditation where you could use sound therapy, and this is practiced a lot by all the Buddhist tradition, where they hum. Okay, but that's also to shut themselves off from all what's happening around them. So now they generate the sound. However, you can just technically don't hum at all and connect to the sound around you. Sounds are nature, meaning you don't sit next to the roadside and connect to the traffic noise, etc. This is very stressful for the body. Okay. All right, and also we recommend for good blood circulation to have a regular rhythm. So if you realize that you're starting to have issues with your cardiovascular health, try to sleep at a regular time. Try to put in a few more hours. You have to dedicate time to your rest. You have to dedicate time to your exercise and be regular. So it's not like you're going to eat well, sleep well for 2 or 3 days, and then for a week you're gonna move on a crazy speed. So you really have to allow your body to enjoy a bit more regularity, so that it could be calming to your heart, and so it helps your blood to get back on track, I would say. Okay,
Okay.
those are the little recommendation. I mean, I really wanted us to have the guest last week. I did hear back from him after a while. You know that sometime in different part of Africa, the electricity company are even more challenging than ours in the Caribbean. So you would find yourself
Okay.
with electricity. So that's why he wasn't able to be there, so that he could tell us about those herbs that elders use. As those ogun herbs. But
Okay.
from next week, we're gonna start speaking about the anyhow. Let me keep next week topic to myself.
A mystery, right? Yeah, but we always welcome guests on our show, but as with everything else, sometimes it's a bit challenging for other people to make it onto the program.
True, true, true,
All
true.
right. Yeah, you wanted to talk about Hawthorne a little bit because I know that there's improved respiration because it was somewhere on your list.
Yes, hold on. Let me try to get back to that particular chapter. Yes, elfonberry, it is good because it helps to open the heart. All right.
Okay.
So this is also a plant whose energy is associated to Ogun. As I said, that it gives courage and it fortifies the heart. So a lot of people who go through depression end up with supplement containing berry. So you will find this and St. John wort, for example. Nowadays, because we tend to use CBD a lot, and I really insist we use CBD, not the other one. Okay.
All
So
right.
for CBD and hot water, you would find CBD and St. John wort, and those is it is very good to be able to get a better blood flow to your heart.
All right. Yeah, because I'm familiar with the herb and I know it helps improve the blood oxygen and that type of thing and
Yes, because
increasing
cardiotonic,
respiration.
so it is a very good herb to have. It is sour and but it's hot. So technically, it's like some people they really cannot use anything that's sour based on their body constitution. So as well as like out of the herbs that we have spoken about, some are going to be great for certain people, and some others you need a different blend. But it's never one size fit all. So once again, I always recommend don't be shy. Go to your herbalist, okay, and dare to ask some questions.
All right. Well, yeah, the 30 minutes has passed, so I'm just going to do a quick plug in with virtual classes and physical classes that we have, and
Sure,
also to share with the viewers where they could actually view streams of this program together with other programs. All
sure.
right, we have the Traditional Herbal Health Show, which is every Sunday at 5 p.m. We have the Ifa Orisa Community Discussion on a Friday at 6:30 p.m. We have the Ifa Bemero Show on a Wednesday at 5:30 p.m. We also have virtual classes of astrology on a Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. We have virtual classes for etymology on a Friday at 5 p.m. All right, the African Indigenous Traditional Community Group meets every Tuesday at 5 p.m. at the Bataria Community Center on 6th Avenue, opposite the recreational ground. All right, so much for that. Let me tell the viewers now where they could actually view streams of the program, such as this one, on the Traditional Herbal Health page. You on Facebook, you would be able to view streams of this and other programs, as well as at the Ifa Orisa Tradition Discussion Group, as well as the Ifa Orisa Institute of Sacred and Divine Sciences, the Ifa Orisa Community Congress, the African Indigenous Tradition Community Group on Facebook, the Orisha Baptist Small and Medium Business Alliance group on Facebook, also on the Grassroots Education and Entertainment Network, on the Ifa Orisha Tradition Teaching Group of TNT, as well as on the Ifa Bemero Home of Ifa Orisha Tradition. It is posted also on the Orisha Baptist Teaching Moments. All right, the YouTube page is called the Ifa Bemero Home for Ifa Orisha Tradition. And we also have the Ianti's Diasporic Venture, right? That is owned by the host of this program. So we will encourage people to visit that page as well as to participate in whatever activities that is promoted on the page. However, the business as well as the host is not located in Trinidad. So it would be also wise for you to contact her with the required information on her page. All right. And with that, we would like to say Oda Bo and see you all next week.
Wonderful.